Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So, finally happened. It has finally happened. Some cards that I've been waiting for so long are finally now budget friendly. Within my budget even, less than $1. Cards that were nowhere near less than $1. Now I can finally utilize them, and you can too. And hopefully they don't spike in price and then I can't use them. So maybe I should go pick up some so I can use them really quick. Note to self, pick them up right now so I can actually utilize them before they spike in price again. Let's jump into it. So, first up, a reminder that all the cards I'm talking about in this episode are going to be in a card list. Link in the description below if you're excited about these cards as well. Pick some up too. Ophiomancer! I cannot believe this card from all the way back in Commander 2013, which really hadn't seen any actual reprints, really. I mean, like, Commander Collection Black. Not really a reprint that, like, drives its price down. Jumpstart 2022. Sure. And then finally, now, Modern Horizons 3 actually reprinted in a real set. I mean, okay, a real set that is also, like, a premium product, but still enough to drop that price down, apparently, down to 64 cents right now. This is a card. It's a 2/2 human shaman for 3 mana and black. At the beginning of each upkeep, if you control no snakes, create a 1/1 black snake creature token with Death Touch. That is pretty incredible. So essentially, yeah, I mean, the number one place that you probably see this one is Aristocrat style decks, because this is basically with a free sacrifice outlet like Viserys here, create 4 creature tokens with each trip around the table. Because again, in Commander, you got 3 opponents. You've got 4 upkeeps in total, and you're going to be making 4 snakes. Now, if you don't have a free sacrifice outlet, still it's like, okay, I get a snake. And if it's ever dealt with, then I get another one, which is still nice. But yes, it is an amazing way to create a ton of creature fodder. It is like Bitter Blossom Plus when used properly. It is, again, 4 potential creatures each trip around the table. A crazy good card. Aristocrat style. You know, I was going to say go wide strategies, but it's not really a go wide thing anyways. But Death Touch can utilize it as well. Yeah, it's crazy good. Love it. 64 cents right now, down from like $4, $5, $6 or so. So it's quite the drop. Next up, Stitcher Supplier. A card that right off the get-go was just like, oh, I hope this is not budget friendly. Okay, like Muldrotha would really like it, but you know, it's expensive. Yeah, Stitcher Supplier, a 1/1 zombie for a single black mana. ETBs or dies, mill 3 cards. Be able to mill 6 cards off of 1 mana creature. That's crazy good. On top of that, obviously with the certain kinds of decks that want to utilize this, ones that like to self-mill and like to self-mill again and again and again, maybe like reanimating, getting back like Muldrotha, can just recast. Cool. Just keep giving this back, sacrifice it, whatever. Back in the graveyard, mill more. Yeah, this is like a 1 mana engine that can mill you a ton, or just, yeah, utilizing it as a blocker. And then be like, okay, cool, yeah, it did its job. I also milled a ton. Yay! 91 cents right now. If you got a self-mill strategy, make sure you're considering this one, down from around $3 or so. Moving on, though, Buried Alive. Never thought this one would ever escape my, none. That's the opposite. Come into my budget clutches. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely a phrase. Yes. Okay, we're going to keep going. 69 cents right now, down from like $7 or $8. I never thought I'd see the day. This is absurd. This card's from like back in Odyssey? Yeah, it was on Weatherlight. I didn't realize that before Odyssey. Anyways, I remember this from like my childhood. Like, that's an expensive card because reanimation strategies love it. But nowadays, even more kinds of strategies can utilize it too. Sorcerer, 3 mana in black. Search life to 3 creature cards. Put them in your graveyard, then shuffle. Here's the thing. They're not just going to sit there most of the time. I mean, certain ones will. Like if you have like Anger, you're like, yeah, my creatures get haste. Yay! Or Filth, and they get Swamp Walk. But yeah. Being able to get the right creatures in your graveyard that you either want to reanimate, that have some reasoning for being in your graveyard, again, like Anger, or have some kind of like effect that they give you as well, or way to get them out of your graveyard. It's a crazy good card for decks that want to get specific things into their graveyard. Yeah, 69 cents, down from $8 or so. That is absurd. The amount of value you can get out of this is absurd in the right deck. Crazy good. If you're waiting for this card, make sure you pick it up now. Next up, Eldrazi Displacer. Yet another card that was like, that's never going to be budget friendly because it's not quite, it is not quite Deadeye Navigator, but it's nearly there. Eldrazi Displacer is a 3/3 Eldrazi for 3 mana in white. Devoid, pay 2 in a colorless, exile entire creature that returns to the battlefield, tapped to its own control. basically like Deadeye Navigator. Not the same thing. Yes, I know it's like Soul Bond, and also the Deadeye can actually blink itself too. But it's a repeatable blink effect that, yes, has some things they can go infinite with, but it's a repeatable blink effect that is super effective for, well, blink strategies. Strategies that want to say, hey, I like that ETB. Let's get that again, and again, and again, and again. And if I'm going infinite, all the agains. But yeah, 69 cents right now, down from like $5 to $7 or so. Pretty crazy. Next up, Renap Excavator, a snake cleric that has been seeing some reprints lately and finally just got underneath, got right there for me. You may play lands from your graveyard, a 2/3. Yeah, this is one that says, hey, do you like lands here, there, and everywhere? Great, cool. Or just say, do you have like one fetch land? Okay, cool. You can get like all your basics out then. Never miss a land drop. Yeah, really, 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 really good for certain types of strategies out there. I mean, again, basically, like, if you get, like, a single Evolving Wilds, and we're getting more of these days that are just, like, very usable for many decks out there. You've got Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, obviously, like, Blighted Woodland and those two that can actually ramp you. But, of course, like, now Escape Tunnel as well. You've got that one from the Lord of the Rings set that, like, you pay 1 and tap and sacrifice, go get a basic. Also, that Cave does the same thing as well. And then, gosh, what's the other one we just got? Like, the tribe cycling lands that can also go get you like 1 of 3 land types. So whatever those are called now, does anyone know the actual name for those now? Yeah? Okay, thank you. Being able to utilize those with this is just like, oh, I keep getting more and more lands. And of course, in any kind of deck, like a desert deck, we can consider this one too. But yeah, 80 cents right now, down from like, this thing was like $5 or so, like $4 or $5 or so, but down in Thunder Junction as well, and then finally down now. It has tanked in price recently, 80 cents, even within my budget now. Ignoble Hierarch. Never expect to see this here. Hey, 1 mana in green, Goblin Shaman with Exalted. It can tap for 1 of 3 colors, any of Jund colors, essentially. It's a 0/1. Yeah, I mean, Noble Hierarch, Ignoble Hierarch, both very good cards for the right deck out there. It's a crazy good mana dork that also can pump a creature with Exalted. 66 cents right now, down from like $3, $4, $5. Did not expect to see this mana dork ever become budget, and now it has. Next up, Ugin the Ineffable. Ugin is here just 51 cents for starting loyalty. Color spells you cast cost to cast, and if it didn't say anything else, it'd probably still see a good amount of play, because reducing the cost of all your color spells by 2 is gross, especially for artifact strategies out there, and artifacts can do very broken things, and yeah, being able to play them for free is lovely. +1, exile top card, rely your face down, look at it, create 2 color spirit creature token. Next token leaves the battlefield, you may put the exile card in your hand, so some extra, well, creatures as well as like card advantage too. -3, restore target permanents 1 or more colors. The important part, though, again, is that just static effect, reducing the cost of your color spells, is crazy good. 51 cents right now, down from like $3, $4 or so. Next up, Legion Loyalty, a spicy giant enchantment that I was like, yay, when it was spelled. I was like, not yay when it comes to the price. Nah. But yes, this one has dropped the price quite a bit, 46 cents. It's also influenced the other prices, previous cards. Came out in Baldur's Gate, I guess. Yeah, around $2 or $3 or so previously, down to just 46 cents right now. So you've been waiting for this giant, just bulky, fun enchantment. Yeah, utilize it. Enchantment for 8 mana in white, creature control Myriad. So whenever you're attacking, you get another token that's attacking the other 2 players, essentially. Yeah, cool, nice. But yes, works very well, obviously, with any ETBs, any LTBs. You're just hitting your opponents with a ton of things. Again, every single creature that Myriad is just like, oh, okay, I don't have to pick and choose who I'm attacking. I'm attacking you all. I'm just swinging all my forces at one player, and then my token forces go elsewhere too. So yeah, it's quite fun. I never expect to see that there again. 46 cents, very budget friendly. Next up, Expedition Map, 69 cents, down from like $3, $4 or so. Pay 2, tap, sacrifice it, go get a land, not basic, obviously. Reveal, open your hand, then shuffle, just 1 mana for this artifact. If you've got a deck built around specific lands, there you go. This, yeah, it's a great land tutor. If not, no, but yes. Next up, speaking of specific lands, Deserted Temple, a land that can tap for a color, pay 1, tap, untap target land. This can go in my Garth deck. I never thought I'd see the day. 56 cents right now, down from like, this might be the biggest drop when it comes to the budget cards I'm talking about now. Down from like $13, $10. I guess it did see a reprint in Tales of Middle-earth. Did not realize that. But yeah, $8. I mean, still around like a $10 card or so on average. Down to 56 cents. Love it. I thought this card looked familiar. It was from back in Odyssey, which is when I started playing. But yeah, my Garth deck, which is built around just basically like making 1 super land that can tap for a ton of mana, and now having another land in the deck that can just untap that land. It's probably worth testing out to see if I can get away with that utility spot. But again, if you have just any other kind of a deck out there that doesn't have, if you're in a monocolor deck, maybe even a 2-color deck, but yeah, definitely a colorless deck, you can utilize this as a utility land that can untap other utility lands for great effect. Next up, Ras Expertise, a source for 6 mana and green. Draw cards deal the greatest power creatures you control. Cast a spell with mana value 5 or less for your hand that pay its mana cost. Oh, green just over the years has gotten to be one of the best card draw colors. And it's like, yes, it's dependent, but yeah, I mean, like, if you're playing green, typically you're either going wide or going tall with creatures. Creatures are typically your main strategy in green. And with your cards now, you can just like, oh, Shamanic Revelation, draw wide a ton. Ras Expertise, draw tall a ton, and cast something for free. 57 cents right now, around $2 or so. I still remember buying this card. I didn't have my budget restrictions back then with my very first deck, my Rishkar deck. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll splurge just a little bit for this one because, like, oh, it's so impactful. And yes, it definitely is. And now it's finally budget friendly, so I can actually utilize it in my decks now. Next up, we've got Sifting Skulls, one that started off budget friendly for me and then very much was not. Yeah, like a $3 or so card, dropped down to just 54 cents now. First actual reprint of this one ever. I did not realize that. Eldrazi for 4 mana in black to void, though. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, create a 1/1 Kelso Eldrazi Scion creature token. You can sacrifice it. An amazing card for, well, I mean, if you really care about Eldrazi Scions, cool, great. If not, yeah, Aristocrats. Sacrificing any of your non-token creatures, getting to replace them with Eldrazi Scion that you can sacrifice for mana. What's not to love about that? A creature token producer that can just go really wide really quickly with an Aristocrat strategy when you're sacrificing things and doing crazy things like Teysa, getting 2 of them. Oh my goodness. Next up, Cascading Cataractes. I might have to include this one actually in Garth too. I gotta think about that. Anyways, it's a land that is indestructible. Can tap for a color, pay 5, tap, add 5 mana in combination of colors. Perfect mana fixing. You are technically going down 1 mana on that because you could tap this for a colorless, but instead you're choosing to tap it with that ability. So you're technically going down 1 mana, but still like fixing your mana perfectly with a land that cannot be dealt with, which is why I would include it in the Garth deck because it cannot be dealt with, which is lovely. I mean, it can. It's indestructible, but there are very few things out there where players are like, I exile your indestructible land. Ha 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 ha. No. Anyways, yeah, this is down to 65 cents right now. Did see a reprint in Dominator United, which dropped its price down from like $3 or $4 or so. Now to 65 cents. Amazing. Moving on. Just got to point out Soul Ring back down underneath $1. I feel like this is just what happens, all right? And it used to be like a $3 or $4 card, $2 then, and all of a sudden now it's like around $1 or so, just kind of going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And like every single time it sees a reprint in Commander product, it's like, okay, just under $1. And like, okay, if you're a budget player like me, use it in your decks now, pick it up now. And then it's going to go back up. And then there's going to be another pre-con. It's going to be like, okay, back down. Right now, it's underneath 92 cents. Okay, moving on. I'm just going to use this as a placeholder for all the other, I think they're called Painlands, right? Is that what they are? Tap for 8 colors, tap for either black or red, deals 1 damage to you. These dropped quite significantly in price recently with some reprints. Yeah, apparently all those Thunder Junction saw this one reprint, as well as Tales of Middle Earth. But yes, around like a $4 or so card, down to just like 99 cents, just underneath my budget. Make sure you consume this. It's a great land, great fixing for you. And actually, again, some decks actually care about maybe even losing life, like life swap decks too. Moving on. Beastwind, amazing removal. Again, kind of like Soul Ring, where this is like underneath $1, back over $1, underneath $1, back over $1. Hovers right there. So again, a time to pick up this amazing removal spell. If you don't know what it is, instant for 3 mana in green. Destroy permanent. This controller gets a 3/3 beast. You might sometimes destroy your own to make a creature if you really need one, or most of the time it's just like, yeah, get rid of that giant thing. Here's a 3/3 instead. Finally, Steve! Back budget friendly again. Thank you, Steve. Another card that's like usually hovering around $1, but now has tanked to 47 cents right now. Rampant growth on a body. Sorry, Steve. You're the creature that probably like sticks around the least with every creature, you know, in Magic, because you're just like, okay, I'm in play. What are we doing now, guys? Huh? Oh, it's about to be your turn. All right, I'm ready to go to combat. What? I'm gone. Yeah, sacrifice it. Basically, rampant growth. Go to base and play tapped. Love you, Steve. But yeah, lots of decks out there can utilize you. Basically, any deck that has green that wants to ramp with lands, which is nearly every single one of them. It's basically another rampant growth for you that can be even better in certain circumstances. Steve, thank you. Just 47 cents right now. Go pick this one up. But as this episode is coming to a close, it's time for me to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know your thoughts are on these cards. Are you picking up any of them? And of course, if you are interested in picking up some of these now, they're very budget friendly. Make sure you check out that card list link in the description below. I'm going to be doing the same. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.